no enemies, what's a home? With no tyranny, then I die. Please remember me. Keep your flowers, in your memories. That's in love, maybe from the blood. If you was my bud, if you was my cuz, if you was my
black liners keep finding holes in my blankets, spanking. Now I see the earrings and anklets next to each other. Who gon' keep checking for another when it's cold outside? She whipped it right while she sit inside. I say mercenary, mine say hi. Hello and goodbye to the bad guy. Stagger out the bar, animosity mad high. Another news, she love me in the morning. Another bag, another trip to California. She like to leave the bags in the back of the phone while she sipping my ties with a Lauren. Yes, them the friends up the hills. Guess it ain't bowling if the body's storming drills. Park the bodies outside, solar cups up high. Toast to the ongoing in the afterlife. After 5, we going live with the beta version. Call home right now, we ain't gon' make curfew. Better they curse you now, but love you later.
Maybe I'm just like my father. I don't even know you. Maybe I'm like my father, but I don't even know you. Maybe I'm like my father, but I don't even know you. Maybe I'm like my father.
Welcome to the outer limits. Push power, LeBron James, that's forward, isn't it? Hard to see the lines with no forward vision. Sitting in the locker room, shorts twisted. Abort mission, vicious. Should've restored to daddy's mistress. Then we could've avoided all of this. No kiddings, that's good riddance. Mission transport, enemies rifling through the dance port. Got my paperwork smelling like damn port. What's your plan for? Money, guns, and ammo. Maybe once they go blammo. Fatigue, I need camo. Been walking in the desert too long in these sandals. Scandals on the news, the pews and the block. Love got shot last night on Saturday. The perks went out of way. The work, it still move agilely.
Maybe I'm just like my father. I don't even know you. Maybe I'm like my father, but I don't even know you. Maybe I'm like my father, but I don't even know you. Maybe I'm like my father, but I don't even know you. Maybe I'm like my father, but I don't even know you. Maybe I'm like my father, I don't even know you. Maybe I'm like my father, I don't even know you. Like him.
Game. Sports life.
Sports life.
We'd like to welcome y'all to join in. Well, listen in, tune in. But we'll be talking about life is happy days and a little of everything.
You gotta play.
Hopes and dreams for tomorrow, fears and tears from the past.
Sport life.
Love, loss, love, gain, fortune, fame. Sports, technology, science, religion. It's all covered here. All of it. We welcome you too.
Well,
You gotta play the sport life. The podcast.
Come on in.
With your host, Grab a Revolver. And Ja. Oh.
Sport life. Let's go. Sport life. Life is a sport. You must play.
Happy Wednesday. October 17th. All my people out there, all my listeners. Again, this is your host, Revolver. Flying solo again. We still working things out. People will be around soon. We're getting the segments in line and all that, but we got to do a show. We like to do show. And at any time, like I told you on the last show, I can hold it down myself. Do what we got to do. So you may notice from the last show, when it was just me, topics I may tend to talk about may be a little more on the serious side, but, it's funny shit and serious shit as well, as always. But, again, I watch a lot of news. I try to stay abreast of the situations, the fuckery that's going on all around us, the loopholes, the laws that are made to confine us, just made to make things seem just a little harder for us. So, one of the things that's really, it's interesting because it bothers me and it doesn't bother me because I've said this, I've said that I don't operate like that, but I've certainly explained the operation to people before and have just noted how turned off they were about just the proposal of a person who doesn't give a fuck about the truth. I mean, not at all. I mean, it's just another grouping of words to them. And in the past, I tend to deal with logical people. There's always illogical, emotional people around. But I tend to deal with logical people. So this, and I'm very logical, this conversation really bothers people that are fact-based, that use their eyes and their ears and common sense and a little less emotion in things where emotion shouldn't be involved in, where it's just blue is blue and red is red. But, what if you're colorblind? 1 + 1 is 2, but what if you're, how it all goes. But the basis of it is, is that there are rules, there are truths, there's a right and a wrong. We won't even say right and wrong because that often involves emotion, but there's a truth. And even me personally, one thing I hate is when you say there are always two sides to a story. That is bullshit. Anybody that says that there are two sides to any story is kind of on some bullshit. The second someone says that to me, it means that there's emotion involved. And really, it could be in shit that it don't need to be involved in. There isn't always 2 or 3 or 4. There's one. Of course, the mind is a fickle tool. You put it under some pressure, it'll blank out. It'll erase things. It'll, given time, it'll make nightmares seem like, post-sunny. Yeah, we came through it, and you got a different feel about it later. That's emotional. That's not even growth, because you'll notice one of the groups of people that are most honest on the planet from birth are children. That's why they're so harsh. This is why they ask 1,000 questions on the way up in the 3s and 4s, and we calling them terrible 2s and 3s. Just about the time when they starting to ask questions, we start to call it something terrible. But they're honest. They're honestly seeking. And what frustrates people, I guess, the parent, is that they haven't developed the tools. They haven't been in the world. They haven't been told the lies. They haven't They haven't gone through the experiences where you can just sometimes tell them, this is what it is, because we know what that generally will yield. Why? Another why. And really, if someone's hunting something down, really looking for the information, there's going to be a lot of whys. One answer generally won't do it. It'll be another why, because that leads down another fork in the road and another fork in the road, until you eventually run out of whys. When the kid runs out of whys, he'll be fully abreast of the situation, or he will or she will have taken herself or himself with the answers to a place where they can now situate it in their brains and it makes total sense. They've got a complete handle on it. They'll stop asking why when they get an answer. That's easy. That's with anybody. It's just I think we get a little older and, too many whys. We do know that there is such a thing as a dumb question. You really don't want to be a person asking a stupid fucking question where everybody else in the room or whatever look at you like you the motherfucker that ain't figured that out. Okay, we see you a little stupid. But that honesty, that no, there isn't two sides. This is what it is. This is the question. This is the answer. This is what I see. This is what we're doing. With no emotion, that part really bothers people when they hear that there are people walking around the planet that have they don't give a damn about a truth. They give a damn about the words, the spells that are cast with the words. What that does to the person receiving the information, if it's true or false. It's an ongoing mental game being played by ridiculous people, because it's hard for a logical person to just check off an illogical person. We are bothered by that shit. Like, really, is so many idiots walking around? You would just believe anything, buy anything, because somebody will say anything to you, and it's because you'll say anything to anybody, depending on the situation, what you need, selfish motherfucker, what you want, what you desire someone else to do. That's the point of what those people are doing. They're just using the words. And of course, the cause of this popping back up so frequently lately, of course, is your president. That cat lies his whole life. I imagine his daddy didn't like him because he was such a liar. From what I've read of his pops was kind of upfront dick. This motherfucker's son is a dirtbag, though. I mean, his whole image is crafted out of some bullshit. This motherfucking thief-ass gaffled loot from his daddy. His whole thief-ass fucking line, it seems like, because the sis and everybody else seems like they got the funneling money. If your daddy would have wanted to funnel your bitch asses the money, he would have set it up his fucking self. Need you dickheads going behind his back. And there's our president. A dirtbag since youth who saw his own father stack loot and figured out a way to fucking rob him, essentially. Not essentially, to rob him. To get that money to him, to skirt the taxes. But skirting the taxes itself don't even mean shit. When you ain't got no money coming in, why would you be such a dirtbag that you need to skirt the taxes when you still in the loot from somebody? So that's another level of dirty, fucking over the government. Why? You're still in the money. That is just asshole. That is just weird shit. And that is the makings of a loser fuck who don't give a damn about the truth. Apparently, it doesn't seem like anything's happened to you. I also note, you may start telling the truth when somebody start bashing your motherfucking teeth in. or some bad life shit happens to you, which it doesn't seem like it has happened to him at all. It's just movies, bitches, money, TV, and the fucking presidency. And all these goofy fucking Republican bastards that voted for this motherfucker. I don't know what the fuck y'all is on other than some real deep core dirty bullshit that I don't necessarily need to discuss at this specific second, but some dirty bullshit going on under there that's what you saw after the last president, after the prior president. See, I ain't even just gonna go Obama like that. You know, that's the line where Trump really started bullshitting. But, and you people started bullshit, not even him. He was just there. He been doing his thing. He been on the outskirts, inskirts of politics all along because it affected him. Depending on who was where, who was in office, who was in control, how that trickled down to New York, how that trickled down to the U.S. economy and the businesses, and where he needed to move his shit to be where he could, you know, kind of circle his own economic wagons. Because, you know, if we go back a couple presidencies, we're at the point where he's bankrupt. He's just bankrupt city, left and right. So you need to know how you can funnel money back in from foreign sources. So then, you know, you have to keep your nose in to the politics a bit, know what's going on, know how to free your money up, how to free that imaginary money up, where you can put your properties and all that. But the point of this is an unconscionable liar who doesn't give a fuck about a single one of you dumb fuckers that voted for him, let alone give a fuck about anybody else, because he's plainly said that he's doing things that he promised. However, there are more people that you didn't make that promise to. So majority and all of that, fuck us. But the lying for no fucking reason is just ridiculous. When there are pictures, when there's videos of shit you said yourself, and then you turn around months, weeks, days later, say, "Oh, I didn't say that. That's not what I meant." When you say shit has occurred too many times that ain't what you meant, that means you're a fucking idiot. Fucking idiot. Or a liar. I tend to think you're a lot of both of them. But it has worked out for you because you got a bunch of fucking idiot fucking fools behind you who have copped to that bullshit. Who, as our deficit barrels towards $1 trillion, motherfuckers don't even know what $1 trillion is. Write $1 trillion down, put all them zeros down to that wrist get tired, and look at that number. Look at that number. And if you want to do a little research, figure out the gross national product, add them up year by year, and see how long it takes you to get to $1 trillion. Or anywhere close to $1 trillion. That's the amount of profit that went out of here, out of this country, or that came in and through tariffs or other taxes fed into the U.S. economy, versus what our current deficit's going to be. After all the promises of lowering, after all the promises of it's going to pay for itself, we still apparently have a wall to build and we're going to be at $1 trillion. We've now been semi-isolated from the rest of the world. Yeah, they sending these bitch-ass fillers out and shit, but, This motherfuckers at the consulate getting chopped up apparently. So what America's saying and what it is just weird. And then after that happened, not long ago, he popped up on TV to tell us, fuck a U.S. connection, fuck a U.S. citizen. Oh, yeah, it was a citizen. I think he had the whatever it's called that you're a resident here, so close enough to a citizen. But please, y'all, don't go nowhere and talk no shit in another country, because you gonna be hostage, held down, killed. Ain't gonna be no ransom. Ain't gonna be no U.S. flag flying for your bitch ass over there, because this dude don't play that. It ain't U.S. like that. He looking at money. That's what he say. He looking at money. The deals. If he talked to Saudi a certain way, I guess, the deals. Meanwhile, I swear for God it wasn't but a few days, weeks ago, he was still bombing on Obama for sending them their money back. The Bush 2 gaffled from them during the conflict after 9/11. We froze their money up. Obama gave them their own money back. It's hostages. But we gave them their own pallets of money back. And he talking shit about that. This motherfucker is pretty much alerted of a murder, and he again is lying to you saying he don't know what's up, because our intelligence is tough. It's the best in the world. Don't let nobody else tell you anything fucking else. Don't nobody else really know shit unless it's next door going down that might somehow affect the U.S. before the president, the Oval Office. Somebody in there is alerted. Meanwhile, he telling you he don't know shit. He got to ask questions. More of that lying bitch shit. But he talking about how that's going to fuck up the deals, the arms deals. Didn't we go through shit with arms before and giving them to people, selling them to people? I believe Russia has gone through this. I believe that's Taliban action, and I believe that's cross action. And I believe if you take another step back with the cross action, you're going to be talking to Oliver North. Also, same issue, weapons selling, turns around, bites us in the ass. We can't sell nothing else. They got starving people. How about we sell them some goddamn food? Fuck the weapons. Now, to me, to make this way more dirty, how many hijackers was it on 9/11? 19 of them, 17, 19 something, and wasn't all but 2 of them from Saudi? And this motherfucker selling them weapons. Once Obama gave them their money back after he stonewalled they bitch asses for his whole term, he was washing his hands of it. Said, you got the hostages, we gonna have to do them deals, but here's your money we've been holding from you. So you can't say we got nothing. Cause that's that business. You conduct a new business current, and it's been a murder and other foul shit post 9/11. Post more terrorist shit going on. Post all overseas is just in a hectic fucking mess, and we're selling the Saudis weaponry. We letting this bitch in our White House sell the Saudis weaponry. They can make their own weapons. They don't need us. They got oil. They got money. Build a fucking plant. Make your own weapons. What are we selling them weapons for? Think about that. Why? Who's that gonna benefit? Who's that gonna bite in the ass in 5-6 years? Because we've been bitten in the ass a bunch of times about this bitch shit before. Yet we doing it again. Now, this time, when the shit hit the fan. Because so much damage has been done with our counterparts around the world. When Lady Liberty throw that arm up with that torch, screaming for help, this bastard's cut all the ties. Ain't nobody gonna come to help. Canada won't even come to help. Oh, matter of fact, congratulations, Canada. Y'all beat us to the weed. See, you got us there, huh? Got us first on the healthcare, got us on the weed. Shout out to Canada. I don't know if we can even get in that bitch anymore, but we was treated tough at the border last time. Motherfuckers was pulling up shit from records 15 years ago. You can't even get fucking criminal records in the U.S. 15 years ago. But anyway, who gonna come help us? Who gonna come? The whole European nation, they going through their flux. That shit is seeming like it's about to crumble. They ain't gonna be able to help us. They gotta do their own thing. And frankly, they got terrorists closer to them. They're on land there. We got a couple loose cells here and some angry niggas that can turn into some other type thing. And we got some angry Spaniards that could turn into something. But as far as that Arab-style terrorism that we supposed to be running so hard from, oh, they there. So how they gonna come help us? We the biggest military in this bitch, biggest, baddest motherfuckers ever. They've been killing Christians. They've been, boy, the Ukraine, Russia, spots over there. You know, we could go help. Who gonna do something to us? But it ain't about that. Because that means he would have, went against Russia. Which is some more stuff, more about the lying. Just continue to lie. Always been lying. And I just wonder I don't wonder, I know where it's all gonna go. It's so disturbing to the logic, but I do understand the words is just words. You can use them however you so choose, but people that seem to choose to use them in that manner are just wastes, just wasteful. I mean, the whole point is communication, two-way communication, not just this is what you need to hear. I'm going to tell you what I want you to hear. I'm going to tell you what I want you to do for me. But it's crazy. All of this, we see it as the midterm elections are rolling around here. All of this is affecting everything. How people are talking to each other, what people believe, what people choose to believe because they somehow have been told there are alternate facts and bullshit like that. So now they got creeds to go out there and do any fucking thing. Say anything. The sky is fucking yellow and purple because I say it is and I believe it, and that's what it is. That shit is trickling down to the kids. That shit is trickling through law enforcement. And there we need to also pay real close attention because the trickle down through law enforcement, how ain't it funny how he arrived there with his bag full of lies to change the U.S. culture at the same time that the body cams with the police showed up to assist in changing the culture to the better. It's going to be to the point by the time this is done with the shit that you saw on camera that we so badly needed to just put eyes on it so people would start believing us is going to go away as well because everybody can say they seen something else, which they're already doing. People aren't getting convicted. These officers ain't getting convicted. They just are making nice television shows, apparently, because we see it. They know it's on. Motherfuckers be approaching vehicles now with a script built for you being fucking murdered on camera. Shit that they used to maybe try to say if some neighbor or somebody who had some kind of influence or the chief or whatever was there, they might, the officer might run back and say, well, he reached for my gun or whatever. It's motherfucking officers approaching the car already talking crazy. Punching bitches in their face on camera and shit. Just wilding the fuck out and saying the shit earlier. Oh, why are you trying to get my gun? Back up. What are you doing? What are you doing? Because all they need to do is have an opinion that they were scared. See the circle? There's no truth in that. There's no concrete information in that. That is something that is designed specifically to erode, break down, disregard, trash actual eyewitnesses, actual cameras, actual proof. Throw that emotion on there. I was scared. All done. Feared for my life. Meanwhile, if they put a heart monitor on a police officer and a heart monitor on the average black citizen and just ran a test of when a cop went by, a police officer's heart monitor is not going to make a tick difference until the chase has initiated. It's going to have to be some shit because they doing that all day, every day. And if their heart is flipping out off regular shit that officers do, they need to step the fuck away because you really shouldn't be made to feel fearful when you've got all the advantages right on your waist. But that's it. Just fear. I felt scared. All the black people in traffic with that heart monitor on, just looking in the mirror, seeing the officer. It could be a bright, sunny day, but I would guarantee about 50 to 60% of us, hearts speed up just a touch because we know we could die at any of those points, any of those stops, or at the very least, have your day fucked up, have somebody talking to you, treating you like shit over a violation of a written law, contract, the license, the vehicle, if it's a car. It's not going to be anything that warrants Hercules showing up, mean mugging, grilling you, talking to you like you ain't shit, having your hands on hoods, having niggas sitting on curves. Niggas got bad legs. Why they always got niggas sitting on fucking cement, lower than your knees? Shit's dumb. Always fucking stretching your shoulders and arms back, always detaining you, putting you in the back of fucking cars while they look through. Bitch, back up. What is the seriousness? What nothing being fucked up by what motherfuckers was doing in general. You're just fucking around to make some money. It's a money grab. On the business side, on the courthouse side, the city and the state side, that's a money-making business. But on the lower end, they got gorillas doing the motherfucking work. And them gorillas come out the motherfucking trees and out their own jungles with their own fucked up mentalities, trying to get revenge for being bullied, just not fitting in. Family, history, some of them trying to do good. However, even the ones that are trying to do good, you need to realize this. When there's even a good officer that's trying to do good, he's usually driven to the point of wanting to do something good because something bad has happened. He's been or she's been seeing a fucked up world, lived in a fucked up house, heard stories from dad when he was an officer or mom when she was an officer, but generally not because officers do keep that kind of close to the vest. But they too are dealing from a point of, let me go help. If the system was fine, there wouldn't be any officers necessary. If there were no thieves, there wouldn't be any bars on windows, no locks on doors. So you're already going into something that's there. So you got to realize these lies that trickle all the way down from the White House to the officer approaching your car door, they're all linked. And it really seems to be a pressure valve, a pressure release for what's really going on. The person that really fears for their life, the person that's not lying, will be the one that ends up dead. The one who is lying, the one who's just a front, a shill, who, if they were scared or panicked, should not be doing their job. They go home. They fill out paperwork. They grab pussy. They grab the White House. They grab hands with foreign dictators. They grab hands with the friends who really aren't friends. They're being used as well and using each other because those type of people can vibe. All users. If I can use you and you can use me, then we can blow this up and we can use them and fuck them because they ain't us. Them ain't friends. But, that's the circle that not telling the truth don't mean shit. Don't matter if ain't nobody friends. It doesn't matter. But so you end up in the White House and you still lying when you don't need to be lying. It is just the sign of the biggest coward. The biggest coward. And to me, it also, lying all the time seems like you're stupid. Seems like stupid. Seems like you're unread, unreferenced, unstudied, not paying attention unless you're the center. So all this stuff is coming down the pipe. It's going to be hard to rectify. It's going to be hard to fix. It's already there. We're divided. We've been divided. It was supposed to be one nation, indivisible. They had slaves. Chattel. We won't call them slaves. We'll think of it like they thought of it. See how those lies work? See if we can just rename it and classify it as something else. Just words. But if we take those words and put them into some sort of codified law, those words, Negro, black, chattel, servant, property. Property is the end all be all in the Americas. End all be all. All contracts, everything is written on a property base. You've got to suffer some sort of loss. Now, of course, it's been extended over the years to mental and professional damages, but the basis of it is there's needs to be a property loss, some sort of damages, something that you can recoup, something that was worth something to someone other than you, to society in general. I mean, you can't just have You can't hollering out on everybody in the U.S. You can't have a backyard full of tulips and somebody tramps through your tulips and you be like, that's worth $1 billion. It's got to be worth something to everybody and it's sort of agreed upon. These things trickle down. The division is only going to get deeper, wider, further, because there's no one standing in the breach. There's no one communicating for both sides because it's so separated. It's a group of people that's just in there. They're all on one side, and then they all folded under this one dude. They've all started lying, started treating women like shit, started just going for whatever, tucking their tails. And they're still there because no one's at, they got a base. I don't know. The women have been showing up, but the women have been showing up because they were wronged. They voted for them. But then when they figured they were wrong, not that the wronging was going on in the whole fucking system, but when the wronging got a little personal, which was pretty quick, first weeks, he went in doing wrong. Some of y'all showed up, but you didn't show up before to stop him from getting in. Even if it was fixed. We know it was fixed. Shouldn't have been nowhere close. Should have been one of them Dick Gregory situations where they was just like, oh, the numbers was just so crazy. We had to shut this all down and make sure what is not even that something. Find what's broken in the system. Move the vote date back a goddamn week. And let's do it again. Should have been somebody there on that side, on the GOP side, on the Republican side, coming towards the middle, not all running towards the wings, screaming bloody fucking murder, when in the end, we will all find out nothing gets done by just one side. You might not like it. You might not like it, but you may have considered what the fuck free healthcare was. You may have not wanted to still be sitting here, gutted the thing. Using their language, I hate when they say that, gutted it. Pretty much dismantled it when the entire second 4-year term of Obama was plagued by, hampered by, roadblocked by the GOP. When the exchanges went down, they want to try to blame that on the program, not that the GOPs are heavy into the insurance and medical game. So when those boys was up on the hill complaining, they were given the right to start dragging their feet in the system. Just drag your feet just drag your feet. Let's go through this first part. We won't pump it up like you would think a good nation. You would have thought in the end, since we head into $1 trillion anyway, and they want to put that bullshit on it like it was jacking the cost up on everything. We apparently had loose money we could have did shit with. I guess we could have sold some fucking arms to some country and got some extra loot and dumped that money into healthcare and have it paid for it that way. But no, that's kind of out the box, I guess. But what y'all wanted to do was just fuck it all up. Stand in the way every way possible instead of coming out the gate, even if you weren't with it initially. When it was in, you should have said, hey, wait a minute, my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, my wife, my mother. Even if you got money, got job, got that government health care, that good shit, and can afford it,
somebody down the line, somewhere in the future, you ain't gonna always be where you at. You're gonna die. But that health care, if you would have helped us get it in, get it rolling right, get everybody participating, it would have been a wonderful thing. Instead of spending years road blocking it, promising to demolish it, why wouldn't you have turned around to your people and say, are you really thinking about this? Are you really considering what you're talking about? It's free medical care. It's free medical care. In a sense. Still got to be paid for. But we can all go to the doctor now. The shit that your brother with his swole up ankles ended up having a stroke in the back room. The shit that all these black women finding out because they're now going to the doctor, were the breast cancer rate up. You got, it could have been a healthier society. And the fact that what they didn't, tell you, it's the use of the system, if allowed to work properly, just in the fact that everybody's going to be going to the doctor without fear of it crushing and crumbling their lives on the bill side for the next 10, 20 years. That would have been money coming in. You still got to pay for prescriptions. You still got to pay for surgeries. You still got to pay for stuff. So it's not like a cut off, a tie off of the money. Everybody would have been going in. So the influx over the years would have been profitable. That would have been sustainable. Children are being born. It's more older people now. It would have been sustainable. But they lied to you. They didn't tell you the truth. They didn't want you to know the truth. They would have rather you ran around bullheaded, eyes glazed over and glossy, mad at, I don't know, maybe the first Negro president. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he was too smart. Maybe he shouldn't have. Maybe he didn't want Harvard. I don't know. Tea partiers. I don't know. You moved all kinds of people out. You pushed your party all the way left, and here we are. You did get the taxes in. I'm pretty sure the Tea Partiers aren't amongst. Oh yeah, that was funded by Koch brothers and others, right? But I'm sure all the people that were in the tents and all of that for all the months after months really are being benefited by what the outcome is. Because you moved all the people out in the middle there in Obama's last 4 years. Yeah, you crushed out, you wiped out your own Republicans and you pushed everybody to the left. And now you got the most lefty motherfucker possible up in there. I hope y'all is happy because this bitch is going to burn to the fucking ground soon. Maybe that's what y'all wanted. You want less government. You really don't want less government. You want government. You know the government is protecting y'all asses, right? You know this, right? Because we know this. It ain't that all the black people and Spanish people and everybody be getting out of hand in the burbs, right? They do it in our own shit, right? And you know that wall up there that don't have us in y'all shit is law. That's government. That's who can enforce that law. So, I don't know. Maybe the officer is right. Maybe they are scared for their fucking lives. It does seem like the activity from that side is generated a lot off of fear for my fucking life. But, you don't want less law because it's then street shit. And what's that? You don't really want street shit. Because you've held a lot of people down to the street shit for so long that motherfuckers is professionals at it. You would have to bring all them motherfucking legal guns y'all was able to get. And you would still get your fucking asses mopped up. Nobody want no kind of fucking civil war in this bitch. This is why the laws existed. Because he was scared to fucking death that some shit was gonna pop off anyway. Scared to fucking death. But then when you get it all situated and you got all the laws and everything on your side, you got the weaponry and all that on your side, you're still scared? Are you supposed to believe that? But these are all about the lies, the deceits, the things that just make what should be a good thing, something that could be discussed, something that we could all talk about openly, honestly, truthfully, in an effort to get somewhere, to a certain point, some betterment for the future, for now. But we got a liar there. We got liars over there. We got some liars over here. But see, I'm flat and open. I don't give a fuck. It's 1 + 1 to me. Y'all is lying way more. It's way more hand to the chest, browbeaten. I love Jesus. Bullshit. Church going, bullshit believing, advantage seeking and taking people on that side. And don't say what the parties is and what they used to be, because what they used to be ain't what the fuck they is now. Ain't been that way for a long time. So don't play that. Another word game. But somebody's going to have to bring this together or totally separate it. But why not bring it together? Why not use the things that we have, the skills that we have together? Why be so separated by lies, a deceiver, a liar? If you all want it that way, just be honest and say it. Don't even bring the other side of your facts to the table. Just say, I don't give a damn about what you're saying. I just don't give a damn about what you're saying. And then we could operate from that point. You have to give a damn. I don't have to be concerned about you. But we should have concern. We should not be letting this liar destroy this. This ain't been the happiest time. This ain't been the greatest of rides for the darker skinned folk. But this is this. And it does not have to go backwards. Things aren't supposed to move backwards. They can be stagnant for a while, which we've been sort of stagnant for a while. But they should move forward. We should all be better than to when someone is lying, in your face lying, to no matter who the fuck it is, call them a fucking liar. Call them a deceiver. Call them a fabricator. Ask them why. Because that's the key to it. That's what needs to be known. Why? What is your point? What is your purpose? If you're just lying, do you not know you're lying? So then we've got some mental defects. Are you doing it on purpose? Or are you just out there in the breeze saying whatever? All of those things need to be put to rest. We need to deal with the truth. The flat out truth. Don't be scared. It's nothing to be scared of when people are telling the truth. So when they're just saying anything, when they're lying, there's all kinds of things to be scared of. Why? Because none of the true information is on the table. You know, if I go into a motherfucking haunted house to be scared and they shooting real bullets, and I don't have that information when I go in, I'm gonna get shot. I may not have wanted to go in there. I may have made a better fucking decision for my own life and those around me if I had the information transmitted to me in the form of truth. Why is he lying? What's he hiding? Anything? Might not be anything. I mean, just the further we go, it's just the more dirtbaggish we find out you are. But that's right, it's a lot of dirtbags. I mean, you've only done a couple of things that have been like totally fucking out of bounds. So why lie? What kind of image do you think that you're maintaining other than the great liar? You're gonna be down in history like the fucking Antichrist, homeboy. For nothing. You got caught on tape saying you grabbed pussy. That's telling the truth, even though you weren't aware that the tape was running. That was the instance where you were telling the truth, and you still got to the White House. So why now have you so reversed course of just lying at every fucking turn? Why? You set things into motion, sort of, because you never really copped anything. You try to let the government work it, and then you kind of just put your nose in here and there, and then try to take all the credit for it. But you don't seem like you can fucking write or put any kind of thing down that some lawyers are gonna look at and be like, "Oh, okay." You probably set your shit on fire. It's probably garbage. It's probably rambling like you talk. So why are you lying? What is the purpose of lying to all of the people? Because he's not just lying to the opposition, if you want to call this or them opposition. He's lying to everyone. He's putting on a show for his own supporters, and we're taping that stupid show and asking, why the fuck is he lying? Times you ask some of them, some of these reporters over the months here have asked some of the supporters, well, doesn't that bother you? Some of them fully believe it. That means they're unresearched, cloaked, unresearched. I don't give a fuck about these people must not have ever picked up a paper because the paper's still printing the truth. And well, boy, don't we have to kind of stop there, don't we? The paper's still printing the truth. The internet is and TV, if you don't wander off of your networks, they ain't telling the truth either, right? They telling you what you want to hear. So, yeah. It's easy game to lock up. If you're telling the lies to the right people and you've got your system, cogs all in place, I guess you can just lie and fools will not have any, I guess, self determinate quality about themselves to want to go and get information, to actually see if it's right, to check sources, maybe to not like anything more than a personality. But boy, even if you do that, that is a goofball ass personality. I ain't, you met the dude in person, but he seems like a fronter. Like his whole shit is just a lie. Like all of it. So yeah, we could never be cool. That wouldn't even be fucking right. I'd be looking at him like, it, this is a bunch of bull. But we the people, you, me, you in your car, in your house, your school, your job, the corner, wherever you at. It's a lot of shit talked about voting. And I know there's a large group of people. I know the vote numbers are up tremendously for the midterms here. And I don't ride all off into telling people what they should do regarding voting, because that's how the math of things work. You can't have people dying for a right and then turn around and force that right. The people have to look at those that have sacrificed for that right and come to a realization or determination of what that means to them, what those lives meant to them, what any of this means to them. Because perhaps you could look at the entire voting game like it's a sham bullshit. Because you couldn't vote at first. The women couldn't vote. Colors couldn't vote. So what was all of that about anyway? And then when we could vote, it was hampered. It was fucked around with. And all the way up until right fucking now. North Carolina, Georgia, they fucking with the vote. They shutting early voting places down, cutting them 20, 30% North Carolina, when they know, because of this ballot BS that's going on, that a lot of voters are already leery, and they were going to do the early. Get that paper in. And no, they're shutting those down there. Georgia, you've got the, what is he, the governor, I believe, in his own governor's race. I believe he's got 50, 60,000 predominantly darker folk. Their early balloting held up, apparently because they said it. So if there are any kind of clerical errors or entry errors, any kind of non-matching with any other prior information, that shit's fan for you, buddy, if you're trying to vote. However, he popped up last night, I believe, or the day before, and said all you got to do is show up with your ID. I'm sure that's going to go smooth. Lying, hoe-ass bitch. Just the logistics of all that sudden change, people that thought they did their diligence, did their duty, now who aren't even alerted that vote didn't count or that there's something wrong, are supposed to show up and vote. Because I'll tell you the other thing. When they do show up and vote, if they do know, I can guarantee what's going to happen next. Now there are going to be duplicates in the system. There are going to be duplicate votes, and they're going to hold all of them up to see which one was right. And if those two things, the new with your ID and any of the old don't match, those votes are going to be gone. I know it's just talking in line. I know what they're doing. It's that lie. They're brazenly lying to keep power. So as I was saying, I don't get all into telling somebody they gotta vote, should vote, need to vote. But we do need to vote. We should vote, but you don't gotta vote. Nobody force you to vote. It's what it is. But I'll tell you, if you haven't, you may want to consider it. If you don't like how shit's going, and you see that there's any potential way to alter it, you may want to consider it as just a few hours of your day, if that, just to put somebody else in there and see what happens. Because see, kind of on the other side, I mean, though it's been spiraling towards what we got now, it's kind of what it is. They put somebody else in there to see what was going to happen. See, Obama was a more national consensus. Those numbers was out the water. They didn't want Hill, so that was that. And then Romney, on the way up, shot himself, and Palin and them. That wasn't, and that was their first attempt of kind of trying to throw something at the fan. But now they threw something at the fan to see what was gonna work. Put something different in there. Try to see if this out the blue, now, you know, those are the more the thinking and the outcomes of somebody that's like panicky, and the Dems don't tend to be quite like that. We aren't throwing up a rando. It just don't work like that, because we know when you throw up a rando, look at what happens. We're smarter than that. A little more considered about the overall system, even though on the other side they swear that it's the Dems that are trying to let terrorists in, fucking drive costs up, leave us unprotected at the borders and overseas. Meanwhile, every one of those things is being eroded by the current. We would have put more consideration into it. You can't really go back and find a time when the Dems didn't put more of consideration in it. Yeah, Billy Clinton was a wild boy, but say something about that business. Say something about that business mind. Even when they was trying to hold him. Say something about his wife, who had her own missions, her own thing other than standing around and looking, and then apparently somebody giving you something to go do. So you wouldn't just look like a lame ass foreigner in the White House behind the dude to grab pussy. Shit, the quietest first lady in a while has been George II's wife, and she was still on her education grind and her healthy food grind, I believe, a little bit before Michelle. I believe she kicked in a bit. And also, we was going through some heavy shit at that time. So, you know, hubby was doing the business. We wasn't too crazy about Bush 2, but, you know, Bush 2 could be... Shout out to W, dude. You could be trusted in that old way still. In that old way still. This new dude, nothing about him is believable. Nothing about him is trustworthy. I don't trust anything other than he'll say some stupid shit just because. He acts like a punk-ass little kid. Those lies are killing us. Slowly, 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 when the truth goes away, it all goes away. You can't trust what's written. You can question it. Can't trust what's said. You can question it. Then you can't even trust the actions, because the actions are a front for what's going on really behind it, because you couldn't trust anything that was said going on the way in. You can't trust the ultimate action or believe that it's going to be sustained, or that a motherfucker going to just change their mind. And that's going to be in every department of our lives. Thanks to this White House, this man, and all of y'all that voted him in. What is a liar? A person who lies, a deceiver, fibber, perjurer, false witness, fabricator, equivocator, fabulous, storyteller. What is a lie? intentionally false statement, an untruth, falsehood, fib, fabrication, deception, invention, fiction, falsification, exaggeration, half-truth, whopper, taradiddle, lie, originating from the Germanic, we like to get into language a little bit, literally to ensnare or to take. Uses of lies: to dupe, fool, gull, hoodwink, trick, defraud, outwit, entrap, ensnare, or betray, to cheat, a swindler, or an imposter. Why you lying, homie? What's the point? Ain't the economy good? Oh, second it slid back, you blamed it on. Why you lying, homeboy? Ain't the wall getting built? Why you lying, homeboy? You got another pussy grabbing, potentially, judge, Supreme Court Georgia judge up. You got all these states Supreme Court judges y'all slid in. Why you lying, homie? Why you lying? Why every time we ask about Russia, why every time they bring it to the front, why after all of the research, all of the proof, all of the links, all of your people jumping ship, all of your old school people testifying against you, how come every time we talk about Russia, you shift? It's China. Oh, we know China working. What about Russia, though? Some fat kid in the basement? No, it's a fat kid in the fucking White House. Why you lying? Why Stormy Daniels horse face now? Didn't you pay for the ass? And you calling somebody horse face is funny as hell, pig head. Goddamn hog, fucking pink ass. The little bristly fucking red hairs the pigs fucking have. You ever fucking had to fucking clean some pig? Yeah, that bristly bullshit, that's what's on your fucking head, pig face. Thought you paid for the ass though, right? See that whole shit right there? Those are lies. That's a bitch boy. First off, this is a bitch boy that paid for pussy. While his wife, pregnant, just had the baby, all up down through there somewhere, paying for pussy. Bitches pay for pussy. How you gonna be rich and paying for pussy? Lame ass. So lame. Liar. All of that is the shit of a liar. A liar. I mean, you could have even Playboy Mansioned it if you felt like it. You ain't gotta pay for pussy like that. You paying on the sly for ass and then calling her horse face. You goofy fucker. You ain't worth shit.
Sports life. Sports life. We'd like to welcome y'all to join